What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Jake Podger. I am here tonight as we enter into our final mock draft of the season. We are 2 days ahead of the NFL draft, the 2024 NFL draft. Can't wait. It's going to be super fun. Joined by Keith and Anthony today. 7 rounds coming at you right after this. What is going on, everyone? It is a very spectacular week. I woke up on Monday, fellas. It was a little earlier than I wanted to wake up, but heard the little girl get up. She was knocking at her door. She found out how to lock her own bedroom door, so that's not the greatest thing in the world. Luckily, we have one of those things where you just poke in. There's a little hole, poke in like a paper clip or like a little, I don't even know what we have. It's like a little hair comb type thing. Able to unlock it, get her up, go downstairs, rep out some push-ups because I'm like, hey, it's draft week. Here we are. We're ready to go. And fellas, we're 2 days away. And I know Mike Thornton, he said, hey, I'm over mock drafts, but we haven't actually done a full 7-round mock draft. So that's what today's show is going to be all about. But prior to that, I just want to cover a couple quick things. And I mean a couple quick things. We're going to go fast here. But it is important. Zach Wilson, Mr. Mom Lover himself, has been traded to the Denver Broncos. So it was what? Zach Wilson and a 7th-round pick for a 6th-rounder.
Yeah.
Anthony, how we feeling, brother?
I mean, I'm happy for Zach. I mean, it's a much better situation for him. If there's, I think, going into the offseason, we were talking about where Zach is going to be playing next year. I don't know. I think I might have had the Broncos as one of them. I know that I had the Rams as a list of places that he could go. But I think the Broncos is maybe one of the top 5 destinations it could end up. First off, the kid's from Utah, and it's not like Colorado's that far from Utah, so it puts him back on that, a lot closer to his family. And Sean Payton does wonders with quarterbacks. I mean, he took a completely dead-looking Russ Wilson, and he had a pretty reasonable year last year. Mm-hmm. So Zach plus whoever they're going to pick at 12. I mean, they could be taking Brock Bowers at 12. They could be taking A.D. Mitchell. They could be taking Xavier Worthy. They could be taking Brian Thomas Jr. at 12. They already traded off Jerry Jeudy. It looks like they're trying to get rid of Cortland Sutton. So he's really trying to build this offense around the stuff that he knows how to work with, Sean Payton, that is. And Zach Wilson still has exceptional arm talent. He really does. He can still spin the ball about as well as anybody in the NFL. So, this is a good spot for him. A lot lower pressure environment than New York City for obvious reasons. And for once, an offensive head coach that believes that passing the ball might actually lead to winning games.
Yeah. And you got to love Sean Payton's type of offense. I mean, you saw what Drew Brees was able to do in his offense. He was a good quarterback in San Diego, but he took him from being a good quarterback to a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Of course.
A lot of quick completion plays, and there's a reason why Drew Brees led the league every year in completion percentage and attempts and all that good stuff. So, yeah, I mean, a really good scenario for him. There's a reason why this kid was drafted 2nd overall. I mean, it wasn't the talent is there. He's just got to.
But it's still there. You see, his escapability is still at the top of the league. His ability to get rid of the ball quickly, I think, is impressive. His deep ball is still super impressive. Kid's got a great arm. The biggest problem with him has been, in my opinion, will continue to be having a defensive head coach that tried to make him a game manager.
Yeah, agreed.
That's always going to be the biggest dog against him. The biggest thing against him is that, you want him to be a gunslinger. When the Jets were down in that Chiefs game, when they were down 3 scores in the first quarter or something like that, and it was just F it, you can't lose us the game already.
Yeah.
For 300 yards. He had a better game than Patrick Mahomes that game, and they almost won it. Right. Then that very next week, it was right back to just hand the ball off to Brees, just run it right up the middle, just take care of the rock, and that was a huge detriment to him. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what he has going forward. I am not a Zach Wilson hater. I am not a giant Zach Wilson supporter. I am a neutral in this, but I do think the kid got raw dogged in New York.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Keith, drafting Hog Malleys. I know you're looking to get some offensive linemen in this draft just by the name alone, but how are we doing tonight? How you feeling about that trade? And let's talk a little bit about some other news too with the uniforms after that.
Yeah. I agree with Anthony. It's a good scenario for Zach Wilson to land in. I'm wondering if Sean, like we all are, I'm wondering if Sean Payton is the guy that's going to get the most out of Zach Wilson. If he's going to unlock all of that talent that Zach Wilson clearly has. It's not, it comes in spurts too. You see he'll make a throw and it's like there's 5 guys in the NFL could have made that throw. And then he'll make another throw where it's like, well, I could have not read the defense and made that throw. So it's a double-edged sword when it comes to Zach Wilson. So, can Sean Payton bring out the best in him? I don't know, but I'm curious to find out.
I don't think it could get worse. I'll put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he could go to a worse offensive situation than where he's been the last 3 years.
Absolutely. It's a better situation just by the coaching alone. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, how many OCs has he had too in New York? Like it's
been 2, but they're terrible.
Yeah.
Immediately, what was it? The brother
LaFleur.
His name. I forget.
Matt LaFleur.
The first one that we had. Matt LaFleur. Yeah. Was it Mike LaFleur?
Yeah,
it was
Mike LaFleur. Yes, Mike LaFleur.
Immediately, Mike LaFleur goes to being an offensive coordinator again in a situation where he's not calling plays.
Yeah.
And Nathaniel Hackett, are you joking? The man was run out on a rail from Denver. They couldn't get him out of the door fast enough.
Yeah, I mean he's in New York because him and Aaron Rodgers are butt buddies.
Mm-hmm. No other way to put it.
Yeah.
His butt buddy status is the only reason he got hired in Denver.
Yeah.
Because they figured if they hired him, hey, Aaron Rodgers is definitely going to come to him, and Aaron Rodgers couldn't get out of his contract. The Packers weren't letting him out. So
huge what if. Yeah. Huge what if he ends up in Denver, because I'll tell you what, they're definitely not at the bottom of the league or a dumpster fire like they are now. Speaking of that, fellas, and I should have typed this in prior to it, but the Denver Broncos did get new uniforms, and about the only good one, in my opinion, was the throwback collection. I know Keith. So at first, when I initially saw it, I'm like, is the throwback going to be the main one? But turns out, no, they have their own Mile High Edition version as well. So let me show you guys what we're looking at here. Honestly, not a huge fan. Not a huge fan at all. I like the throwback ones, like I said, but these other ones, I mean, what is this, Boise State? I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah, man, that's bad.
Come on. This is a great picture. Great picture. Love Jonathan Cooper, but they just, to me, they missed the mark a little bit here. And I wish that screen was a little bit bigger. Let me see if I can see if it changes it. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, well. Yeah, I don't know. You could have gone in a much better direction than this. Keith, I know you said that you did like them.
Yeah, I do. Now, my favorite Broncos uniforms are the late 90s Broncos, the ones John Elway, Terrell Davis. Those are my favorite Broncos uniforms. But these aren't bad. I don't hate them.
I mean, I want to see if I can find the side profile, and I feel like they just stole the lightning bolt from the Chargers.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like. I did notice that, Anthony. That's not great.
Now that white helmet is not bad. Keeps going to ads here. That white helmet, the white on white, is pretty cool. I gotta say, I actually do like that. But just the other stuff, man, I'm just not a huge fan, to be honest with you. I know, they're trying to bring some symbolism in it too, and ode to the 3 Super Bowls and stuff like that. And first off, 24. Stop it. That's Champ Bailey to me. Stop putting. I know it's the year 2024, but just little things like this. I mean, come on. And what's with these little punctures in the numbers too?
That's another thing. I was noticing that too. It's taking a stitched on letter and making it look like it's screen printed. Like what?
Yeah,
for?
I don't get that. I really don't get that. I'm looking to see if they're gonna show the I'll have to pull up the throwback edition ones. But like I said, the Broncos throwbacks that they just reintroduced from the 1977 years onto like 94, those are just awesome, man. And I wish that they would make those their full-time home uniforms. But yeah, they just I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking with this one. So let's see here. I'll show you these guys. And these were great. Big fan of these. There we go. So Pat Surtain, the video was cool too. It was like a retro style video. Pat Surtain going into a TV shop, and it's like an old TV, and just cool stuff, man. Yeah, but the old school uniforms are great. Let me see if I can find a better version too, because that only shows the top up. They showed the helmet here. They don't really have great pictures of the other ones, do they? But yeah, I like what I think all teams should just have their throwbacks as their primary uniform right now. Like, to me, the throwbacks look better anyways. They sell better. People love when teams wear them. I mean, even look at the Titans with the Oilers uniforms, the Dolphins. We talked about this the one show too. Like the Jets bringing back theirs too, Anthony, and their new logo is not great in my opinion, but I love those like late 80s, early 90s Freeman McNeil jerseys that they got going. Like, those are sweet.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know why, but, and I get it. It's a money-making thing at the end of the day, but so there's an example of the what the socks will look like and all that stuff. But that's just sharp, man. I love it. And I'm here for the nostalgia.
It's a good uniform. You know, I stand by what I said. I think the 90s uniforms are their best, but
yeah,
the Dolphins should absolutely go back to their 70s uniforms. I agree with you there wholeheartedly.
For sure.
They're white. They're white on white, the Dolphins. It's too white. They look like they're in a hospital. It's like, you know, they look like they're wearing, like they're surgeons wearing scrubs or something. It's really sterile looking. I hate it.
Yep. I agree. But yeah, so the Broncos were one of those teams. And then we did have the Houston Texans as well that just dropped theirs. And I got to say, they did theirs right, in my opinion. Now, there was the one set of numbers, again, that have like those weird punctures in the holes. But I'll show you guys what we got going on with this one. This is pretty cool. Let's see here. And then we're going to go right into the draft because guess what? We're already at like 15 minutes here. Classic. But if you take a look at these, I mean, the H-Town uniforms, they are pretty sweet. Nothing too different with the home uniforms here. Just obviously different font and some other things made it look a little sleeker. The away, they have like this, almost like the horn of the bull coming across. And this almost looks black, but it is a navy blue here. And it kind of looks similar to the Atlanta Falcons. But I like the look. I just, wish they could. It is a navy blue. And then the
red helmet's hot. I'm sorry.
The red helmet's sweet.
The red helmet's cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yep. So, yeah, this is the team who I think did it right. And obviously Houston. Have you ever seen a greater rebuild in a year? I mean, let's be real here. DeMeco Ryans comes in there, turns them into a playoff team. CJ Stroud, they hit on him apparently, and they go and get our guy Steph Diggs in a trade who I think he's got a lot to prove. And he might not put up 1,500 receiving yards this year, but he's going to be a dog for them. You already know it. Nico Collins and
we talk about them as like, saying that they're like a 1 year, like look at the churn that they made in a year is kind of like disingenuous because like they got the new GM. He hired 3 head coaches in 3 years.
That's true.
Like we kind of get fooled into the idea that like DeMeco Ryans just came in, but like they've been rebuilding this team this is now the 3rd year.
Slowly. Yeah.
Like this is when they should be getting traction. They built the offensive line. They have weapons. They are finally in a position to build a quarterback that they can develop behind an actual like sane looking team. And this is what happens. Like it's not like DeMeco Ryans just came into like a carte blanche situation and had a huge turnaround. Like, they did it right, but like this did take time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And time for UFO football, saying the Texans are terrible. See, they didn't do too much different with them. I don't think
No.
it's that bad, you know? Sean doesn't like them either. Says you look like a UFL team.
The H helmet does.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yes, I will agree with that. I think the logo is cool. I don't love what they did with the blue on blue. I think that's a little off, but
They're trying to go back to the old Houston Oilers sort of colors.
Yeah.
And what bothers me still to this day is the fact that the Tennessee guy won't just sell them back the IP.
right. Yeah.
You're not doing anything. There's no such thing as a Tennessee Oiler. Like, they had them for like a year or two before they switched over.
Yeah.
But like, there's no such thing as a Tennessee Oiler. Like, Houston was made on like oil. It's the crude capital of the United States. Like, this, just sell them the frickin' IP. Like, Cleveland gets to be the Browns after the Ravens stole everything and went back.
Good example.
Cleveland gets to keep all of their like old like Jim Brown records and stuff. We know that's not the same franchise. I was alive when you hoodwinked us.
Yep. It's hilarious.
The Colts haven't always been in Indianapolis.
Baltimore Colts. Exactly. Another example right there. Yeah. Yep. You're spot on.
My uncle grew up in Baltimore, and he said he'll never cheer for the Colts ever again after what they did.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't like the Earsays very much, does he?
No, he does not.
Yeah.
He hates me with a passion.
That team has, in my lifetime, tanked twice successfully, and the NFL's done nothing about it.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah. That is so true, man. I go back to those years. I mean, Curtis Painter was their quarterback in
It sucked the lucky year.
2011. Yeah.
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 I still, the NFL just let them get Andrew Luck.
Well, no, they had Kerry Collins for a little bit there. The corporate.
They did. They did have Kerry Collins. 40-year-old Kerry Collins. I love that. Yep. Pro Bowler with the Titans, by the way.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. And with the Panthers for like in his second year, I think it was maybe.
He was drafted by the Panthers, and they
took the Giants to the Super Bowl. Kerry Collins.
He took the Panthers to the NFC Championship in like their second year.
Yep.
Yeah, it was George Seifert or Don Capers.
Don Capers, yeah.
Yep.
Seifert came after Capers. But
That's
Capers was their initial coach.
Yes.
And I think that same year the Jaguars went to the AFC Championship game.
That's correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both teams came in the NFL at the same time, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Wild, man.
Same year.
How about this, Jim Page? Even if we pick a kicker, the Jets are still kicking everyone's ass. Love it, Jim.
We just re-signed Greg the Leg, yo.
Good to have you back.
Nobody's taking his job.
Listen, Greg the Leg is a stud. Legotron.
Like $4 million too.
Yeah. And Mike, this is some news too, and then we will get to drafting. I promise you, Sean. I promise you. What's with the Bagulas looking to sell off 25% of the Bills? Let's start a GoFundMe, and Mafia will take. I love that idea. I think we should start it. Get it in the works. Definitely, I'm here for it.
I think cities should buy teams. I felt like it for years.
Like Green Bay, right?
Yeah, like Green Bay. Cities or teams should be owned by cities, so that teams can't just be moved out for absolutely no reason. I mean it's a diatribe for another time, but like,
yeah,
I am furious about moving and threatening teams to move because they're not building you a stadium when like the taxpayers get no benefit from.
Yeah.
Like.
Yep. Amen to that.
Like what's going on with the Chiefs right now? You know, Chiefs aren't going anywhere. You know, we know it. You know, everybody knows it. But you're still going to threaten the fans because they don't want to pay. They don't want to foot the bill. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
It's messed up.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, we're going to get to it. Jim, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. And yes, Mike makes a very good point here. Join the Discord. Lots of stuff happening there. I can't even keep up myself. I hop in and there's like a million new chats since I was last in, and it's like minutes go by, you know? So there's a lot of action. We love it. We got some Chiefs guys in there. We got obviously Keith, Anthony, myself, Mike. It's a really good community. So yes, join the Discord. It's in the link below in the description. So check it out. All right, guys, let's do this. So listen, our guy Chris is not joining us tonight. Unfortunately, it looks like. So I know typically in the past we've opted to use the Patriots, but for time's sake, we're just going to do our own teams here. and we're going to go
For
with
sure.
a 7-round format. We'll go on normal. And I'm doing the Pro Football Network one again just because I feel like with the trades, it's a lot more transparent. Whereas with like PFF, it's just not. So,
Sure.
All right. Let's do it, fellas. Here we go. And again, with this too, this is all hands on deck. You're allowed to do trades. If you want me to stop it at any time too to propose a trade, you're more than welcome to do so. But without further ado, here we go. Anthony, you are up first here at pick 10. So 3 quarterbacks off the board to start, and then 3 receivers to follow. Wow.
Completely makes sense.
And it wasn't Drake
Wow.
May.
First offensive lineman off the board. All right. So no, go back to that. I like that trade proposal. Go back to that for a second. All right. Pittsburgh, give me number 20, 51, and 19. I like it a lot. What else is coming up? What else do we have?
Oh, Denver.
12 and 76. 32, 64, 95, 131 in a second next year. I'm honestly, you know what?
And then there's that one.
Yeah, let's go and pick the Pittsburgh one. I'm good with the Pittsburgh one.
I like it. So moving back to pick 20 there, you're taking on another second rounder, and then you're getting, what is that, a 4th rounder? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's 4th, borderline with a 5th. So
not bad.
All right. There.
Very nice. And I'm not moving up, by the way. I did in one of my previous mock drafts. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to see what happens. And there he goes. That's probably the pick for us Bills fans.
Oh my God. Byron Murphy isn't going 32nd overall. Amazing.
Wow. Yeah.
And I see Brian Thomas going to the Jaguars a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at the board.
All right. Let's see. What are we thinking? Tackle?
What are these? Let's look at just offense real quick. All right. A lot of the receivers are off the board so far. Maurice Mims the only tackle. He is the right tackle though. Coleman, Suamataya. Check out just receivers, just for the funsies. Okay. Go to defense. Okay. You know what? Go to trades one more time.
Ooh, I like it. Got the Lions for 29.
Chiefs.
And the Chiefs.
See if we can counter at the Chiefs and take away that 20-25 seconds. See if I can get some a little later this year. So maybe try to get like 95. See if they'll give us 95.
Ooh,
I doubt
it.
Wow. Oh. Okay.
You maybe could have got more.
Maybe.
All right. Well, on to Keith. They took Jared versus the Chiefs there at 20.
Yeah.
And Keith, you're on the clock here. So 1 trade offer from the Niners, 31, 63, and 124 for 21.
I'll take it.
All right. Look at us. All of us trading back here.
Really
They do the same. Michael Penix. Look at that. Nate Wiggins, Johnny Newton, Chop. And let's take a look here. So Dallas pick 56. So here's the thing. The Bills pick at number 60 in the 2nd round. Okay. Now I could do this. This is not bad.
It's not terrible.
So we're picking up 101. That would technically be a 4th rounder, correct? Or is there a compensatory maybe at 101 for the 3rd round? There might be.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that. Pick 33. We're moving back 5 spots. I'd rather do that than 56. So I'm going to do that. Okay. All of us trading back.
Okay.
All right, Keith. 44 and 77 from the Raiders or 56, 87 in a second.
Let's do 44 and 77 from the Raiders.
All of us just moving back. But we're acquiring a lot of picks.
But I mean, it's like I said before the draft. I want to acquire as many picks as I can. And currently the Dolphins only have a 1st and 2nd round pick. They don't have 3rd and 4th round picks. So
yeah,
I really want as many swings at this pinata as I can.
Love it. Yeah, Mike, I could have definitely gotten a 3rd had I countered with the Cardinals. I got a little lazy on that one. I liked what Carolina was offering me. And at 33, you still have a chance at guys like Cooper DeJean, even if you wanted to go outside of receiver, or you can get maybe a good edge or a D tackle there too. So let's check
the board real quick.
there he is. He's available.
All right. Check offense.
JPJ, look at that.
Yeah, that's going to be really difficult for me to not want. Yeah, let's take the trade back. It's just a couple of spots. It's only like 2 spots.
Moving to New England at 2 spots.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm going to decline this. And because our guy Sean is in the chat here, Sean, this is for you, brother. We're going JPJ here. Are we? Or are we going to go Xavier Leggett? Here's the thing. I don't know if Xavier Leggett's at pick 60. So I almost want to try this. Let's propose a trade. And let's try to get a more mid-second round. I know the Giants have like pick 47-ish. I want to stay at 33 if I can, but let's try going 60 and maybe like one of our fourths to move up to 47. Let's try that. Ugh. All right, let's try this one more time. I don't know if 47, that might not do it either. I almost feel like you got to go. Ugh. This is really tough. I know Arizona. Washington has 40 and 37, I believe, too. Let's take a look at Washington. 36 and 40. So we could actually go pick 40 here. Trade this year's second, and maybe, you know what, next year doesn't matter. Just for the exercise's sake. Do we want that, though? Let's just see if they do it. Why not?
Oh.
Wow. Tough crowd. I'm going to do one more because I want to keep time to I want to keep track of time here. Let's try it one more time. And if they don't do it, a lot of people saying don't do JPJ.
Yeah, Mike's out there saying don't.
Mike doesn't want to do it. Sean wants it.
I actually think JPJ would be a fantastic pick. You don't have a center.
We do, but it's Connor McGovern who moved to center. So in this case, you keep Connor McGovern at left guard, who did very well at left guard last year, and then you have an actual center and a guy who's really good. And you look at history, the top 40 guys picked at the center position year after year have turned out pretty good for the most part.
Yeah.
So, oh, man. It's not a sexy pick. I get it.
A lot of people telling you not to go JPJ.
I know. Yeah, I do. I understand. And maybe we do this so we could have the best of both worlds. Oh, 2 second rounders for
a second rounder.
For a second rounder. Now, we do have 2 seconds next year. And we're moving up 24 spots here. So it's not like we're moving, we're almost at a third round basically here. Let's try it. Oh. All right. I got a decision to make here.
Minnesota knows that next year's picks are fake.
Yeah. Yikes. All right. Whew. Oh, man. Here's the thing, too. If I don't take him, I think Anthony is.
Oh, yeah. Anthony's licking his chops over there. Look at him.
And, Mike, you make a good point. He was promised a job at center. Bill's all-time best center was that's fair.
Not a JPJ. I mean, JPJ is him and BB are the 2 best offensive linemen on the board.
And here's the thing. I almost feel like
offensive line. Those are the 2 best on the board.
Yep. I agree.
Sean, listen, my favorite player in this draft is available at 33. And I tried for you, brother, but I'm not going against it. I'm going Xavier Leggett.
Fair enough.
Say I got bullied into it, whatever. But that's my guy. That's been my guy since November. I'm sorry, brother. I can't.
Yeah, I'm not trading down again. So, nope. Not taking either one of those. Do I take JPJ? Let me look at defense again.
Cooper DeJean too. That's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take JPJ. Why not?
Ooh, this is gonna really piss Sean off now.
I mean, I'm a little pissed off myself. He wasn't going to last for me, too. He wasn't going to last for me, though.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm drafting at 44 here.
All right.
I'm gonna reject all trade offers.
Oh, I just did. I'm sorry. I just went for it.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely committed to drafting here. Let's do Zach Frazier here.
I like that. That's a good pick for you there. Zach Frazier, very nice. Good value at 44. I like that kid a lot.
Yeah, he's the second best center in this draft.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not taking this one at all. No interest. Not taking this one. Not at all interested.
Your guy is there. Look at that.
When's my next pick after this?
Let's see. So you have 51 and 64 and then 72. Wow. Pretty good.
Take a look at defense real quick. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take Michael Hall Jr.
That's a good fit for you guys.
Damn you, Anthony.
Very nice pick. That's a good, underrated. I feel like that dude is not getting enough coverage for how good he is. Like
he's an absolute sleeper.
He is.
I agree.
What do we think, Keith?
Probably
not that one. Maybe this one? No?
That's not bad. Let's go with that one.
They took Chris Jenkins there. All right.
All right.
The Colts
I'm going to reject all options now here, Jake. Let's look at offensive tackles.
Oof. Now, Blake Fisher, I can't believe how low they ranked Blake Fisher on this.
Still.
Yeah.
109.
Round pick.
Yeah. All right, let's look at defensive tackles here, Jake.
You got Rook, you got Fisk, you got Mason Smith, Dwayne Carter, Tavondre, and that's pretty much it.
Not Tavondre. Let's go with Rook.
All right. Very nice. One Clemson guy to replace the other that just left, right?
Yep.
Good move. All right. We got Chicago offering 75, and then now I'm not going to take either of those. Here's one of my other guys, Braden Fisk. Yep. And defensive tackle, man. That's a position where we're a little bit older at. And I know we just re-signed Daquan Jones. That's tempting. I will consider that one. Just for now, Christian Mahogany, that's an interesting pick too. I don't know if I want him here at 60. Same with that. Let's look at edge. Chris Braswell, Marshawn Nealand. Oof.
I like Nealand.
I do too. And I think he's actually a better fit for us.
Yeah, Braswell's a 3-4 defensive or outside linebacker.
Yeah. Cole Bishop too. I do like that. We just got to decide what's more important, safety or edge. And to me, with Marshawn Nealand on the board, and as a MAC guy myself, I'm going Marshawn Nealand here.
I'm fine with that. I like Marshawn Nealand. That dude just got a lot of violence in his game.
He does. And his numbers aren't going to wow you, but like his measurables are good, and he's
going to provide some run support, and he's going to provide some pass rush support. And it's going to be both eventually above average at both. So it doesn't matter if he can get you 15 sacks.
All right, I'm going to reject that there, Jake.
By the way, let's check quick too. Let's see what they're saying there. That's funny. Sean is not very happy with this. Listen, I had to go with Xavier Leggett, though. You can't knock me for doing that. That's my guy. I tried for you, Sean. I wanted to get both. Ruh-roh Raggy. And this doesn't bother me too much because he has the motor to wear down any offensive lineman. Like, he's just great. Trek, listen, I like Devondre Sweat, but not in the second round right now. He's fallen on a lot of boards just because of that DWI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's falling on my board.
Yeah. All right, Keith, what are we looking at, brother?
Let's see.
Look at that, Ben Sinnott.
Yeah, I'm looking at him.
Early.
Yeah.
No?
What's that?
Seems early for Ben Sinnott, no?
He's been going, it's only mock drafts, but he has been going in the second and early third and a lot of them lately.
Let's look at tackle again, Jake. Defensive tackle, sorry.
Oh, my bad. Oh.
I'm sorry, Jake. That's my pick.
I knew you were gonna do it. Hey, it's all good.
I like Braden Fisk almost as much as you do.
Yeah, he's a stud, man. After that interview I watched with him too on Bussin' with the Boys, I'm here for him. It's great. I'm assuming you're gonna want to reject this one, Anthony.
Yeah, no interest in trading down again.
Okay.
Let's go to offense. And Pearsall survived, so Pearsall is making it to the New York Jets.
That's a nice pick.
There you go.
Very nice. Roger Rosengarten. All right. Jets are back on the clock.
We're back on the clock. Let's go ahead and take a look at offensive tackle. When's our next pick?
101. Oh, whoops. Not 101. 95.
Okay. No reason to mess around. Go ahead and take Blake Fisher. That's my boy.
Nice pick.
I'll take him in every single mock draft that I do.
Very nice.
Keep pounding the table. That's my boy.
Here for
And now is a good spot to take Ben Sinnott.
There you go. Very nice, Keith.
I like third
Get
round
your tight ends. Been talking about him for a while. Very nice. I think next up is Anthony, I want to say, at 95.
Yeah, looks like it.
It looks like. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay with that. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at defense. Dwayne Carter. What is interesting to me here? Look at edge again.
Ooh, Austin Booker.
Okay.
Jonah Ellis.
Yeah. Let's go to offense again. Sorry.
No, you're good.
In my head.
Great.
Who's left at guard? All right. To me, there's not a whole lot of value on the board right now. I don't love Brendan Coleman. I didn't like Mason McCormick's tape. Lyden Robinson, hardly watched him. Zach Zinter is going to need. I am not sweaty. Not feeling the least bit sweaty right now, guys.
Zach Zinter's a second round pick if it's not for that injury. That sucks for him, man. Who knows when he's going to be back?
100% it's going to be a redshirt year from next year, though. So
yeah, it's unfortunate.
It is. Wide receiver, what's still there? A lot of value. Go ahead and take Malik Washington. Why not?
Oh, you got your slot right there. Very nice. Big Malik Washington fan.
It's a very flexible wide receiver core with Ricky Pearsall, Wilson, and Washington.
It really is, man. Yeah. I like Dwayne Carter a lot.
I love Dwayne Carter. I love Dwayne Carter's tape.
Yeah.
That was the guy who was going in my head that I might have taken, but
yeah, at 101, I mean, yeah, that's not bad. Jaden Hicks, though, at safety, I mean,
yeah.
We're next at 128. Neither of them are going to survive there. Jaden Hicks may. There's a chance. It's crazy, though. Round 4. In real life, I don't think he's lasting to round 4.
We just did our draft and like guys fell. Like there's so much talent in this draft, guys fell.
I mean, it does happen every year, you know.
This draft class is so good though. It really is.
It is. Yeah. Let's look at corner just for a second too, for the heck of it. I love Cam Hart too.
Yeah, big corner.
Yeah. Oh man. Malik Mustafa's not bad either. Keaton Oladapo. I know the Bills met with him. Man, here's the thing, man. We got to get young. We got to get younger at D tackle.
Sure.
We signed Mike Edwards. We re-signed Taylor. I'm going Dwayne Carter here.
Okay.
I'm going to do it.
I mean, I think the world of the pick of the player in general.
I love it. Anthony, yeah.
And I'll take this. I'll take it.
All right, there you go. Acquiring some more picks. Very nice.
Yeah. Jermaine Burton off the board.
Yeah, finally. Round 4. Wow. Jaden Hicks, there he goes. 113. Zach Zinner, 117.
Still too early for James Williams. I know it's the 4th, but like, that dude's not good.
Yeah.
Not
a fan,
huh? Cool. He's just too much projection right now. There's still good players on the board. Check out linebacker real quick.
Ooh.
Damn.
Okay, over Jeremiah Trotter. Go ahead and give me Jeremiah Trotter. Let's take that guy.
Look at that, man. One of the stories of this draft, too. You know, you talk about all the players' sons that are in it.
Yeah. I'll take this. Why not?
Yeah. You're getting great value with these, too.
Liking it.
Pratt. Look at that.
Check out Edge. Give me Jonah Ellis. Let's do this.
There you go. And right to Keith. Look at that.
So I'm actually going to take Jalix on here. He's a guy I've been looking at.
Small school kid, but he can play. Yeah.
So Jalix Hunt for me, and then let's look at. No, I'm good on that. I'm done on that trade offer. Let's go all both sides. Let's see who our best players left are right now. You know what? Audric Estime is probably the best running back in this draft. Let's bring him into the fold.
Big back, something you guys. I mean,
something
not
we need.
Really a lot of size. Yeah, I was going to say you guys don't have a lot of size. I mean, that's something I would consider for us too. And here we go. Now I have a decision to make. I can either go safety and take a guy like Malik Mustafa, or I wait and get Keaton Oladapo, who I know the Bills are interested in him, and get my guy Cam Hart. Now, the good thing is I have 5 picks here, but I feel like he can go to any one of these teams. Let's look at receiver again. Brendan Rice is there too. We could double dip. Let's look at running back. I love Isaac Guerrero. I think he's still there.
Yep. But so is Jalen Wright.
Yeah, that's true. I fast as hell, man.
Yep.
I'm going Cam Hart here.
Okay. Fell
in love with him throughout the process, and there goes Malik Mustafa.
Kyrie Jackson's gone. Uh-oh.
Let's look at safety again. So I think I'm going to save it. I like Jalen Carley's too. I know we talked about him a little bit last show. Trek Reviewer brought him up. Kid's a ball hawk. He can play. Definitely a sleeper in my opinion. Good size too. He's like 6'2", 219. Let's look at running backs. Jalen Wright is there. Do I want Jalen Wright? Or do I want to wait and get a little bit bigger with Isaac Guerrero, who also is a freak? Tyrone Tracy, too, is intriguing to me. Talk about a sleeper. I think this kid is nice. The receiver again. Brendan Rice.
A little surprised he's still there.
Yeah. Look at guards here.
Honestly, I think you guys could live with getting Goncalves. Like,
Yeah,
Dawkins
good
isn't gonna
pass
play
pro,
football.
right? Yeah,
Very good pass. You can bulk him up a little bit.
it's not a bad option. And I didn't go with an offensive lineman, and I know Sean will be pissed. So I don't even know if he's still watching. So I almost want to go with an offensive lineman. But do we want to go with, I mean, Hunter Norzad was already taken. It's a passing league, right?
Yeah, I mean, Goncalves is, in my opinion. Do I take another? I mean, one pick. Why not? Go ahead. Trade down.
There
They
you
can't
go.
possibly get the guy I want. They didn't get the
Late
guy I
and
want.
run.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at tight ends real quick. Yeah, go ahead and give me Theo Johnson.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
And you get the next one, too.
I do. Take a look at defense. Okay. Let's take a look at edge. Okay. Safety. Okay. Cornerback. Okay. Offense one more time. And let's go ahead and take Garendo.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, that kid tested extremely well in the combine.
That dude, I don't know if you watched any of his tape, but that dude, like, he takes the shortest steps I've ever seen in my entire life for a human being going that fast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really like Barney Rubble pushing the car. Like, it's just like they're tiny little steps, but like he's moving.
Yep. All right, Roy, I'm going to abide by your wishes here, and I'm going to go with Marshawn Lloyd. So just a little bit of background on him. He was at South Carolina, and I really liked him there. He transfers to USC. Decent back. I think in the 5th round, though, it's not bad value for him.
Yeah.
Again,
Why him over Tyrone Tracy? Just curious.
It's a good point. It's a good point, too. Now you got me thinking.
Because the thing that I like about Tyrone Tracy is he gives you the value of being one of the better kick returners in the class, too.
That's true. Yeah. And size-wise, I mean, he's a little bit taller. Marshawn Lloyd is short. He's short and stocky.
Yeah.
He's almost Zach Moss-like a little bit. So maybe I want to avoid that. And let's take a look at the picks here. So I got 144 and 160. Do I take a risk and go Brennan Rice here and then go running back with the next pick? Javon Baker on the board, too.
Everybody's a big fan of Javon Baker.
Yeah. Yeah. Edge, we got Muhammad Kamara as well.
Love that guy. There's no way he's still on the board in the 5th round. IRL.
I know. That's insane. Insane. I think I'm going to go with Brennan Rice for Mike.
Okay.
That's his boy.
Yeah.
Let's go Brennan Rice. We got Xavier Leggett and Brennan Rice in the 5th round. Come on. Crazy. And there goes Marshawn Lloyd. And there goes my guy Keaton Oladapo.
Javon Baker just going off the board.
Oh, right in front of you. Oh,
yeah.
All right. Let me see who I've picked so far here.
Mike's asking about Jonah Ellis. You want to tell him or you want me to?
Jonah Ellis, Mike, is a New York Jet at 123. So, Keith, you last took Audric Estime. I like what you're doing here.
All right, let's look at offensive guard. Offensive tackle or offensive guard. One of the two.
Yeah. Javion Cohen. He's decent. Not too far away either.
All right, you know what? It's a little bit of a reach, but give me Caden Wallace here.
Oh, nice. All right. I'm not messing around. I'm going to get our running back. I know I teased it earlier, Roy. I apologize. I think you'll be really happy with this pick. Tyrone Tracy out of Purdue. A lot of upside here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I like what Anthony was saying, too, because he does offer return value. And again, this is not going to be our starting back, right? We just had James Cook go for over 1,000 yards. This is going to be a change of pace guy, a guy that can come in and do things and give James Cook a blow, And maybe, I know, this kid can play. He can actually play.
I could see him replacing James Cook and James Cook being the back eventually.
This is a Jets fan saying that, too, all right? So we're going to go ahead and take him.
He's bigger. He shows a little bit more power. He can catch out of the backfield. He's a converted wide receiver. Like, he's got all you're looking for like a feature back.
I love it. Safeties are slim pickings right now. This was kind of a position of need for us.
Take Tyke. He's good for you.
You think?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a slot corner really in the NFL.
I was looking more at Kenny Logan just because of production alone. You like Tyke better than Kenny Logan?
I mean, what Tyke does, I think fits. I mean, he's on my short list of guys to take. So,
well, if he's on the Jets short list, I admittedly I will say I haven't watched a ton of tape on Tyke Smith.
Yeah.
I have a little bit on Kenny Logan because I was watching Dom Pooney and I started watching some other players. But Tyke Smith, all right, listen.
Trek reviewer's coming hard tonight.
I know he is. Hashtag fire Podger. Listen, I want to show you my picks here, Trek reviewer. All right. We got Xavier Leggett, Marshawn Nealon, Dwayne Carter, Cam Hart. I mean, we got some dogs on this team here. Mm-hmm. And Tavondre Sweat, he went, I believe it was to the Rams in round 3. He was a late round 3 guy. All right. Tyke Smith, you're a Buffalo Bill. Thought about taking a flyer on Thomas Harper as well.
Jordan Jefferson, and Ebiagbi. You're killing me.
Wild.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I know it.
This ain't right. Gabe Hall. All the tackles, like defensive tackles, have been on the board for like 100 picks, and then they all go.
That's crazy to me.
Okay. Let's look at so all Jones, Tommy Eichenberg.
Okay.
Liam's brother.
Very nice. Yeah. Family affair.
Yeah.
I don't like all. Take a look at just offense real quick.
This is where it really gets down to who you know.
Glad I took 2 wide receivers already. I'm so glad I took 2 wide receivers already. I'm so glad I took 2 offensive linemen too.
Pickens. Yeah.
Let's look at defense. Who's left at defensive tackle? Fabian Lovett. I don't love it. Edge. All right, we're taking Muhammad Kamara because, I don't.
Oh, what? How is he on the board here?
No sleep till Brooklyn.
That makes 0 sense to me.
I agree.
I just don't. That's
Gabe Murphy shouldn't be on the board still. That dude's decent.
No. I'm gonna go with one of my favorite players in this draft. Tight end Dallin Holker out of Colorado State.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
Very nice, Keith.
No Tip Ryman?
No, I like me some Dallin Holker, man.
Tip Ryman is a freak of nature. But yeah, we talked about Dallin Holker a little bit, and dude, crazy production, great hands. Yeah, I like that kid a lot. Let's see here. Let's take a look. This is an intriguing prospect to me too. So Tua can't even pronounce his name, but I started watching a little bit on him too. He's a late round guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. Let's look at defense. Could go with
I like Jamri Chroma. This is gonna be a crazy name, I'm telling you right now. That dude had a James Madison. That dude's nasty.
Who's the other dude at D end who had like 16 sacks for James Madison this past year?
Jalen Green. He was an outside linebacker.
Yeah. Yep.
But Chroma is a 5-tech for them, so they played a 3-4 on front.
Yeah.
So he played a little bit inside, a little bit outside. His get off is nutty. His get off is actually crazy. Go back and watch if you can. Like, there's no highlights of it that you want to watch, but like if you want to go back and watch the UVA versus James Madison game, like he had I think like 2.5 sacks. I don't know if he had a forced fumble that game, but like 4 tackles for loss. He just was all over UVA.
I like it. Interesting size too. 6'3", 274. That can't be accurate, is it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I mean, there's a reason why I did play at a smaller school, but
he also had like 35-inch arms, 35 and a half inch arms.
Wow.
I like the kid. You can go with Logan Lee. Logan Lee is this. I don't know why Iowa did this to him. He's 281 pounds, 6'5", so he's lean as all get out. And they just had him play nose tech.
I don't get that either.
Like every single play is just like him getting marched up the field by a guard. What are you doing this kid for? What are you doing this for? This ain't right. This is not fair. His tape looks terrible. Like we're only going on the fact that he has like a 9.25 RAS score. That's all I can tell you about him. Because I would
people get sucked in by that. I actually think I'm going to go with a linebacker here. I'm going to go with hopefully one of Trek Reviewers guys, Maris Lufau. Okay. JD Bertrand not on the board, so I'm going to go with this guy late here. I think it could benefit the Bills to take a guy like this.
Okay,
add him to the linebacker room. Why not? And back to it. Now.
Casey Rogers had like 100 snaps all year, but has like a 9.5 RAS score. Like,
wow, really?
I did a lot of work on like the defensive tackles this year.
Yeah, I like this kid Nelson Caesar a lot.
I haven't watched.
We talked about him.
Okay.
I think we talked a little bit about him. Was a captain at Houston, and I know they were speaking great things out of him, talking great things about him at Houston. Iron sharpens iron. Went up against Patrick Paul every day. Do love that. Gabriel Murphy, I actually like a little bit better. Those guys are probably available in the 7th round. Could go Thomas Harper here at safety. Double down on the safety position. See which one works out. Tyke Smith or Thomas Harper. Doesn't fit Mike's standards for size, so I'm going to avoid him. Let's look at offense again here. Dylan McMahon is interesting. I talked about this kid, Lumia. I will find out how to pronounce his name because he's going to be a Buffalo Bill. We're taking him there at 204.
There's one way. Let's go ahead and take a personal pet project of mine. Somebody I like a lot, Jared Kingston. He's a guard.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
All right. Just to take a second, I want to discuss who this guy is. Pull up his little cart.
Yeah.
All right. So 9.92 RAS score. 30, if I'm not mistaken, 34 reps. His athleticism is phenomenal, and he's nasty on tape. This year, he had to cover 3 positions for USC. So if you look up his PFF, they have him listed at, I think it was right guard, right tackle, left tackle. Literally had to play 3 positions. He was a 3-year starter before that at Washington State. On the move, he's nasty. He's one of those dudes that just like you see him hit people and he just runs them over. Absolutely one of my favorite prospects in this year's class. Bizarre to me that he's like considered this low. I would not be surprised if he ends up in like the 4th or 5th round IRL, like even though they only have him listed at 295 here. So let's go ahead and take him. You are New York Jet, Jared Kingston.
I love it. Jared Kingston. A name to remember. I have watched a little bit of him. It is wild. Round 6.
Yeah, I didn't know much about that guy, but you have me convinced, Anthony.
He's good. He's good.
And the Jets starting off the 7th round.
Let's go ahead and take my boy Jamari Chroma if he's still there. Should be defensive tackle.
Yep.
Here.
Yep.
Still there. Let's go.
He is there. Look at that. Brevin Spanford. Another tight end we talked about, AJ Barner. Another tight end we talked about, right, Keith?
Yeah.
Tip Ryman to the Patriots. Very Patriots-like pick.
Yeah. Can't say I love that very much, but
Yeah.
I already have 2 tight ends in this draft. I can't really.
Drake Nugent. I didn't even see him. Would have liked to maybe take a flyer
this
on him.
class is really good. There are going to be guys that slip that you're going to be like,
Yeah,
wow.
right?
It's going to be like that. There's going to be UDFA guys that you scouted.
Damn, none of us picked in the 7th round.
Wow. Well, we all made all those trades, right? So,
Yeah.
All right. Upon further review, here we go. So, traded from 28 to 33. We go get Xavier Leggett. That's our wide receiver 1 for the future. 1,200 yards, rookie year. Why not, right? Marshawn Nealand. Nice edge player. He will play in this defense. Probably will be a starter at some point. Dwayne Carter. Love him as a defensive tackle. We get younger there. We needed to get younger there. I mean, we have Daquan Jones, who's 33. We have Austin Johnson, who's turning 31. Eddie Oliver, who I think is 26, and I know he's locked up for a while, but like outside of that, even Eli Anku, if you want to consider him on the team, he's 29. So got to get a little bit younger at the defensive tackle position. I think this is great value at 101. Cam Hart, big corner, who can play in the nickel. You want to match him up against tight ends, match him up against Travis Kelce. Why not? Maybe he can do what Saran Neal did against Travis Kelce. Matt Concalves, really good pass blocker, add some depth to the offensive line, especially at the tackle position where we are lacking a little bit of depth, in my opinion, on the left side specifically. I like Ryan Vandermark, but we did just sign Lyle Collins, but there's some consideration of him switching to guard, which is interesting because he did play guard to start off in the NFL. So nice they could play right tackle and left guard, but again, adding more depth there. Brendan Rice, why not? Tyrone Tracy. Yes, I did see a question. Was that Roy? I think Roy asked the question with he was the guy who switched from wide receiver to running back. Yeah, he was at Iowa as a receiver, and then he transferred to Purdue, and now he's a running back. Yep. And again, good value because he can be a kick returner too. Tyke Smith, Anthony thinks he fits in the defense. I admittedly have not watched a ton of tape on him, but Anthony got me sold, so I took him at safety because we didn't take one up to this point. Maris Lufau added a linebacker room, and then Satoa Lumia at guard. Just started watching a little bit of tape on this kid. Late round pick, but in my opinion, worth a flyer. Keith, to you, sir. Talk about
All right. First, we traded back twice actually to get in the 2nd round, get some more picks. Again, we did going into this draft. We don't have a 3rd or 4th round pick. We need as many picks in this draft as we can. We need to get younger. We need cheaper contracts. And this is a great class. So we just need to get as many picks in this draft as we can. So with my first pick, I drafted Zach Frazier, future center for the Dolphins. I think he's a day 1 starter and hopefully a plug and play guy for the next 10 years. Next, we went rookie Hora. Still having a tough time pronouncing his name, but hopefully that will change in the coming weeks. I like him. I like how big he is. I like the motor with which he plays. And the Dolphins need defensive tackles. They need to replace Christian Wilkins. And right now they have Zach Sealer and a bunch of just the guys, Jags. So brought in rookie. And then with my next pick, I took Braden Fisk. I know that probably broke Jake's heart a little bit.
It did.
But I like Braden Fisk too. And he tested well at the combine. He's not the most physically imposing. His athleticism isn't going to jump off the charts at you. But what he does do is he plays to the whistle every snap. And reminds me a lot of Zach Sealer in that regard. And I think with rookie Braden Fisk, Zach Sealer, and maybe a little Neville Gollum, the Dolphins have a good rotation at defensive tackle this season. At 77, I went with Ben Sinnott. The Dolphins need, even with bringing in Jonnu Smith, even with having Durham Smythe at tight end, Dolphins needed some more talent at tight end, young talent at tight end. And I'm hoping Ben Sinnott will come in and be their guy because in my lifetime, in my lifetime, I haven't. Yeah, no wide receiver. Didn't see any that I loved when I was picking.
Listen, we need Braxton Berrios to hit that over too. So
yeah, we do.
Right?
Next I'm on with Alex Hunt. Now he's a guy I've been watching a little bit. He went to a small school, kind of dominated there, but I think he's a real sleeper in this draft. I think he has the potential to jump off the page of people. Audric Estime at pick 126. Ouch, Mike. C+.
C+. He did really good here. These three especially, and Ben Sinnott at 77. These guys really, really A+. Keith, I'm going to say that right now. All right?
And
A+ right here.
Everybody's a critic.
Yeah.
Audric Estime is probably he's one of the top backs in this draft. I think he's the best back in the draft, and I got him at 126, so I can't be too upset with that. Caden Wallace played tackle at Penn State. I see him more as a guard in the NFL. And, maybe he can step in and play right guard for the Dolphins right away. Tommy Eichenberg is Liam Eichenberg's younger brother. Maybe having Tommy in the fold will make Liam play better. And finally, I went with Dallin Holker. Dallin Holker's a guy I've kind of zoned in on him from early in this process as a guy who's just tough as nails and just loves football. And I'd love to see what he can do if he gets some real NFL reps. So, C+ seems a little harsh, but I'm actually satisfied with this draft. I'm good with that.
This is nice. You filled a lot of needs and you doubled down on it. Defensive tackle, tight ends. You got your offensive lineman a little bit too. You got one early, you got one late.
Yep.
More of a project, sure, but a guy that I think can come in and play at the NFL at this level, at NFL level. So not bad, Keith. All right, now to the guy who had about 16 picks in this draft. Anthony, look at this, man.
Yeah, I had a lot. All right, so we'll start off at the top. Jackson Powers Johnson, probably the best center in this class. Either the best or the second best interior offensive lineman for sure. I don't know exactly where he's going to play immediately, but it's going to sort itself out because, I have no idea if Elijah Vera Tucker is going to be healthy back to the season. So I think it's actually a sneaky need for us, especially knowing that Tittman played guard for us last year and he played very well. So we could just slot him in immediately at center. It's necessary. We need depth. Second pick, Michael Hall Jr. Not necessarily an obvious need, but for me, we don't have a second interior offensive lineman that's not like Quinnen Williams right now. I think we let Quinton Jefferson leave, and Al Woods is 105 years old. So we kind of needed some rotational help there, and he was already there, so why not? Ricky Pearsall, one of the sneaky better wide receivers in this class, definitely belongs in the I don't play like a white guy wide receiver room for sure. Blake Fisher, one of my favorite offensive line prospects in this class. I think that he could play at the very least guard and possibly still stick a tackle. He's got the length for it, and he's one of the younger tackle prospects in the class. Malik Washington, one of the older wide receivers, but man, oh man, does he play violent. He is so sudden. He's got such nice hands. He was targeted 1.5 trillion times. And I feel like guys that get that many targets that have to lead their team in targets, I don't care about how tall they are. This dude could just go up and get the ball. It's necessary. Jeremiah Trotter, just value. Just value. Just give me a linebacker that could play behind CJ Mosley, possibly take over in 2 years. I'm happy with that. Jonah Ellis,
value.
Why not?
Yeah.
After all these picks, why not just take another edge rusher? Why not? No problem with it.
You guys lost Bryce Huff, but you brought in Hassan Reddick, who you're not totally sold on just yet. I mean, a little bit older, production's there, but that's just it, right? You still got to stay young at that position. So
Absolutely.
love it.
Theo Johnson, again, I have a million picks. Why not just throw the dartboard at a tight end that may or may not be useful in a couple of years? I think Conklin's on like his last year. Ruckert hasn't really shown anything. Like, let's just go ahead and get ourselves an athlete at tight end. Isaac Garendo, I mean, we're collecting 9.90 RAS or 9.99 RAS running backs. That's just what we do with the New York Jets. We just collect running backs with high RAS scores. Muhammad Kamara, always be sacking, bro. He shouldn't still be there, but like he's another edge. We're always rotating our edges. Hassan Reddick's like 105 years old too, so like why not? Jared Kingston, personal pet project of mine. I'm a very big fan of what Jared Kingston brings to the Jets. And Jamray Chroma. Why not? 7th round. Small school product, a little bit older prospect. I like his first step, and maybe we can do something. Do I truly believe Jornells will be a star? Maybe. I mean, even if he's just a situational pass rusher, you're more than happy with that, and we get him like the 4th or 5th round. So,
yeah.
Do I think that? No, of course not. Nobody picks 12 players in the draft. These are all fake.
Yeah.
Everybody. If you look at Twitter or anywhere else, everybody like trades down 75 times, picks 100 project players. Like that's what we're doing. We're here for the funds. We're here for the memes.
Absolutely. And guys, remember, like GMs are talking to each other at all times, but a lot of these trades that you see too, the likelihood of these happening probably not super high. There's some that definitely could, of course, but
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna trade back, and every single pick you're gonna have different trade offers. You're gonna say, "Yeah, I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna move back one more pick, another pick, another pick." Doesn't usually happen.
And the further down we go, the less likely a trade's going to happen. I mean, at one point, Anthony was drafting like the 3rd round, and one team came to him and was like, "I'll give you 5 picks for that one pick," and he's like, "All right, cool."
Right.
So yeah, do I think no? These are just it gives us an opportunity to talk about prospects that we like. That's what this is about. It's sharing the research that we have. Izzy had you all beat. He had a mock where he took 23 players.
That's insane.
Cool.
That's a lot.
A lot of rookie contracts right there.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Let's get the count on these. So I had, let's see, 10. So I didn't really do much. There was just that one
9.
trade that I took. Keith had 9, and then Anthony with 12.
But I started off with 5. So
yeah, that's great, Keith.
Context.
For sure. And you talked about that. That was one of your strategies going into this. You wanted to acquire more picks. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Let's see. What AFC East team is going to go viral on social media for making the biggest move in this year's draft?
I think it's going to be the Bills. I don't see it being the Dolphins unless we're talking about trading back. But I think if anybody's going to be moving up in this year's draft, it's going to be the Bills moving up to get a wide receiver.
100%. And I wanted to do the version of trading back this time around because I feel like we're doing one or the other. I don't love sitting at 28 unless you know for a fact that there's going to be a Byron Murphy there. Or, I mean, I guess Cooper DeJean, I get it. JPJ is another name, and I really did consider it. But I'm all for team trade back, especially because we don't have a 3rd round pick. But if we're trading up, we're going to that pick 17 and we're taking Brian Thomas Jr. That is my guy if we're trading up. I don't want to trade up for anyone else. So could very well happen. Happen. But here he is, Roy, with the question. Jake, do you think Bean will move up to trade for BTJ? I think he would. And 17 is probably that pick. Seen him mock to the Jags a lot. I know mock drafts only go so far, but it actually does make sense. I don't think Seattle's going to take him. They have a plethora of receivers. Jacksonville, they're still, they got to fill the void of losing Calvin Ridley. Like they signed Gabe Davis, sure. They still have some good players on that team, but they want a legitimate alpha in that receiver room, and I don't know if they have that just yet. So Bills trading up with Jacksonville. Now, I think it could happen where the Bills trade their 1st round pick and then maybe their 2nd round next year and like a 4th to move up to pick 17, and then you acquire a 3rd rounder with that. I don't know how the logistics will work with it, but something like that. So I'm here for it. Definitely.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
You know,
Weston missed all the fun, man.
Trading up, being super aggressive would actually be pretty fun for the division and for the NFL in general.
It would.
Like, you can sit back and, you know, maybe take a couple of them in the draft, but like, go get the guy that you want, because like this window is not going to be open forever.
Yeah. Agree. Let's see. Mike saying Bills could give up this year's first and next year's first, move inside the top 10. Yeah, I've seen that, Mike. That's so much. We are mortgaging so much. And I think Brian Thomas Jr. isn't that far off from those dudes. Like, there's definitely a gap, but it's not that significant between them and Brian Thomas Jr. Now, when you look at like them and, I hate to say it, but like Xavier Leggett, a little more raw, had one really good year of productivity. He's not quite at their level just because he hasn't had the consistency. But I think
he's also
time,
like 2 years older. That's
true.
The other thing. Xavier Leggett. Like,
it's a good point.
His breakout age was like 23 and a half, which is pretty old to be beating up on just like what could be college sophomores and freshmen.
That's a good point. Weston loves Jonah Ellis. He's a big Jonah Ellis guy. Keith, not a Jonah Ellis guy.
No, I'm not. But I
mean, I don't know why you don't like him. Give us a little bit of a rundown. Give us a little bit of a rundown about why you don't like him.
I don't like him. I'm going to give you the Sidney Crosby answer when asked why he doesn't like the Flyers. I don't like him. Why don't you like him? Because I don't like him.
Okay.
He's a little small. He is kind of small too. What is he? 6'2", 248?
I don't
think
he's
small.
I don't think he's a great athlete coming off the edge. I think he's going to get bodied by tackles, and I think he's going to get taken away by tackles.
He's bigger than Hassan Reddick, who had 14 sacks last year.
And yet he plays smaller.
What do you mean, yet he plays smaller?
Yet he plays smaller. That's what I mean by it, Anthony. He plays smaller than his size would indicate that he does.
Boy.
He's a 20-year-old last year playing against
that is true. He is young.
And seniors.
Okay.
That's a case of being the other way.
Look, you know, you drafted him in the 4th round. You got great value for him, but I don't love him as a prospect.
Okay.
I will say, I do understand where you're coming from with that too. I mean, injuries. Last year he played with a bum shoulder. He did register 13 sacks, which is great. Not saying he played against incredible competition, but it was Pac-12, you know, decent. But Weston, I want to show you the full results here because I know you missed some of this. Your Chiefs actually traded with Anthony's Jets at pick 20 and took Jared Verse. So not bad there. Jared Verse at 20 is phenomenal, in my opinion, value-wise. And that's scary. Your defensive line is very scary taking Jared Verse. You got Karlaftis, Jared Verse, Chris Jones, Michael Dana. I mean, you got some studs on that D-line there. Wild. Ended up getting my guy Xavier Leggett, which I love. Let's see who else the Chiefs took because I know Weston is in here. He's probably curious. Any more KC picks? They must have traded out of round 2. Oh, they did with the Jets again. That was part of that trade. Ricky Pearsall goes to the Jets, and the Chiefs ended up with someone else here. Where are the Kansas City Chiefs? They must have just traded us next year's pick or something. Isaiah Davis, running back out of South Dakota State. Interesting because receiver is probably on their radar, and I didn't see him take one.
Yeah, the thing is the computer doesn't like always. Besides
they do
the
value and
the guys that picked, it doesn't seem to take too much into account when for regards to like team needs. Yeah, like the Chiefs need another receiver. I mean, they needed one before Rashee Rice.
They took 2 safeties. I mean, what have we? Wow. Yeah, this is a mock draft. This is an exercise. This is a tool to use. We say this all the time about PFF. Let's go to the chat. Let's see what else we got here. Take a hell of a lot more than 2 first-round picks to get into the top 10. Yeah, I agree, Roy. It's going to be like 2 firsts and maybe a second, maybe more. One of them will be an early second, so not much.
Oh, yeah, you're picking 28th. That's pretty far back.
Yeah. So it's essentially a second. Yeah. Sprinkling some late-round picks. So he said, he's comparing Jonah Ellis to George Karlaftis. Interesting. Going to be fun for sure. Trade value chart. If anybody still uses it, says the 2 first-rounders, a second and a fourth. To move up to the top 10, Roy, that's a lot of It's a lot to mortgage there.
It is.
Man. Yeah, that's wild. Bill's Bunker, Jake, good to see you, brother. I just did a mock draft that had Jaden Daniels fall to pick 18, Seattle. Wow. That's interesting. Not where I had him falling.
Who do you guys feel do you think it's going to be Jaden Daniels second, or do you think it's going to be Drake May?
I don't think it's going to be Jaden second, unless they pull the Eli Manning thing, because Jaden Daniels did not have good rapport with the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
He left there feeling very I don't know, just they made some promises and it didn't seem like it, there were other prospects that joined him on the visit too, from what I understand. Just didn't make him feel special like they're supposed to, right? So the marriage there may not be the best thing.
Yeah.
I could actually see Jaden Daniels, maybe not falling to 18, but I could see him falling a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he is a polarizing prospect.
Yeah.
He is an old quarterback prospect. I mean, at 24 years old, having his only breakout season. I mean, people were talking about Joe Burrow, but Joe Burrow was different.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow was more accurate. Joe Burrow had more big-time throws. Joe Burrow did more.
He had injury issues at Ohio State. He got buried on the depth chart behind guys like another Washington quarterback with Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah. Dwayne Haskins. Oh, it was that far back. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he got buried on the depth chart behind Dwayne Haskins and
Justin Fields. No, Justin Fields was at Georgia, right? And then he transferred. Yeah.
But Burrow wasn't playing all that much to break out. So I see what you're saying, Anthony.
Yeah. I mean, it's very, very old breakout age. For a guy that just had his best season, and he had his best season with. It's always hard to gauge when their weapons are that good. That was another thing with Burrow. He had Jamar Chase, he had Justin Jefferson, he had who's the third one there? Get the third other really good receiver at LSU. So
I can't think. Thad Moss.
Yes. No, there was another one.
He was tight end. Yeah. I know you were talking. There was another one there too.
Yeah.
Crazy because it's like that whole team was just littered with first round picks.
It was. Yeah.
Almost like the 01 Miami team, but not. I'm still putting that 01 Miami team as the best of all time.
Because there's so many NFL Hall of Famers on that team.
Yeah. Yep. How do you feel about this? So Adam E., the Leggett played against 18 and 19-year-olds is a dumb argument. Even Joe Marino on Locked On Bills said as much. It's a disingenuous argument because there's plenty of 20 to 23-year-olds college sports. That's a good point. And listen, Adam, this has been my favorite prospect since November. And I'm in love with the guy. So you can't tell me otherwise. I think there's good points to both sides of that. Obviously, you look at the earlier production. He was playing behind guys, Brian Edwards, he played behind Shi Smith. So it wasn't like he was playing, and I know they're not elite at the NFL level, but he was still playing behind guys that made it to the next level. And it took a while to actually develop.
Here's why it's not a dumb argument. We're not saying that you can't take the guy. We're not saying he's undraftable. We're not saying he's a terrible prospect. We're saying that the fact that his breakout age was as low is the reason why, as a prospect, you have to discount.
Right.
You can't simply say, just look at the numbers, because those numbers didn't exist until this current year. So you have to discount. I'm not saying he's a terrible prospect. I'm saying that among the wide receiver prospects, especially in a class that's as loaded as this one, he's not the first, second, or third. He's not the fourth, the fifth, or the sixth. It's a little bit further down. Last year, if he'd have had that same breakout year, he might have been wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
If he'd have had that same breakout year at 21 or 22 last year, he would have probably been ahead of Quentin Johnston.
Sure. Yeah.
But he didn't.
You think Quentin Johnston gets back on the wagon this year, figures it out and starts going on?
I didn't like him as a prospect to begin with.
I'm not a fan of him either.
Yeah, he struggled a lot against man. He did most of his damage in zone or in zones. If you go back and watch the TCU tape, and he didn't really catch the ball very well with people around him. that was a thing that was on his tape in TCU, and now you're seeing him struggle with the same thing. Guys cover a lot closer in the NFL than they do.
But I saw a stat. He had in the playoff, he had like 169 yards against Michigan. 154 of those yards came on like broken plays where like Michigan just forgot he existed and he just got behind the defense and
he didn't have anyone around him when he caught the ball. Yeah.
Right.
So if Xavier Leggett was in last year's class, he probably is wide receiver 1 if he has that breakout year.
I agragree. I definitely agree with that.
Last year's wide receiver class was trash, just real bad.
It was tough.
Yeah.
How about this one, Weston? My hot take is, and this was Dan Mitchell. He came on. Listen, Weston. Dan Mitchell did comment on one of our shows a while back, and he said, "Imitation is the purest form of flattery," something like that, because they have their own AFC East roundtable over there. And listen, no disrespect to those guys. Listen, we'll clap it up for them. I invited him on our show, and he's not fired back. But interesting take here by Dan, saying he wouldn't be shocked if Drake May fell out of the top 10.
I wouldn't be shocked if Jaden Daniels fell out of the top 10.
I was going to say, I think it's the other way around. Drake May is the best quarterback prospect in this draft, in my opinion.
I agree.
I'm not disagreeing. I agree too.
I mean, he's a dog, man.
It's rare to see the three of us agree like this, but yeah.
I know, right?
I think that, when people say things like, I wouldn't be surprised that, like, if such and such happened, especially something like as bold as that, I would really prefer if they would just take their shot. Yeah. Not hide behind.
Just say it.
I wouldn't be surprised. Just say it. Drake May is not a top 10 prospect in this class. Stamp your flag, and we'll see in a couple days.
Well, you know what? I'll stamp my flag. Jaden Daniels is not a top 10 prospect in this draft.
All right, Keith.
And
hell yeah.
And if you got a real problem with that, come see Drafting Hog Mollies.
Yeah.
That's right. Best nickname I've seen, by the way, from Keith. He's went with a couple nicknames. This one's my favorite. Love that, Roy. I had a
all right, guys. I have to get out of here, but I will see you both on Thursday for the draft.
For sure,
brother.
100%.
Amen.
See you later, Keith.
Right. Have a good night, guys.
Take care, Keith. Roy, I'm just no comment there. Leggett was secretly in KC this last weekend, so was Tez Walker.
If it was that big of a secret, how do you know?
That's right, Weston. Listen, he's got some ties to Brett Veach. He must, because he does say a lot of things about KC. And I had
last week about like the guy that was at Cheesecake Factory.
Yes. Yeah. Who do they bring to Cheesecake Factory, Weston? He does. I'm telling you, he does have some inside source. I don't know who it is. I don't know if he'll say. Maybe it's him himself.
Casey's a smaller town we know.
It is. But we appreciate the info, man. It's always good. Listen, we got to know our enemies better than ourselves. Hilarious. Just went to get some barbecue. Yeah, Roy. You could definitely see that too. Drake May has a much higher floor than Daniels. Absolutely. I think he's more pro ready already too. Like more than Caleb Williams too. I mean, he's just there. He's a modern day Phillip Rivers, right, Anthony?
That's my comment for him.
That's who he's training with right now too.
Dragging bad teams kicking and screaming to wins that they don't deserve.
Yep. And he'll put up numbers too. Don't get it twisted.
That arm talent is real.
Yeah. Arrowhead Addict. That's right. Okay. Great podcast. Yeah. Good follow. I like those guys a lot. Great stuff over there. But I think that just about wraps it up for today, folks. We appreciate everyone joining. Listen, it's been a long season, a long mock draft season. We've been doing this for some time here. Anthony, I'll tell you what, you are one of the best film breakdown guys I've talked to. I wish we could have done some of that and not gotten hit with some copyright from YouTube. And maybe in the future, you never know. We might have some special privileges to do so. Hopefully we can.
I'm thinking that maybe we do it on the Discord. Maybe
we could do that.
On some time, we let everybody know, hey, we're not going to be on YouTube today, but come by the Discord. We're going to break down the film on. Let's do some Bills prospects. Let's do some Dolphins prospects. We'll do some Jets prospects. After we get done with the draft, we just see how we feel about how they're going to fit in the teams.
Yep. I love it. I think it's a great idea. We were talking about adding a voice channel, so that would be perfect. We'd share screens and stuff like that, go over some film. That'd
Exactly.
be fun, man. Nice little added twist. Jake says, a comp I heard today was May being a mobile Goff. I like that.
Yeah, if Goff didn't have like any arm strength at all. If Goff had like arm strength, yeah, he had a powerful arm, sure, but I think he's much more of a gunslinger than Goff. Goff is just
I agree.
I hate anytime you comp players to like other players and you're like, well, I'll just change this one stylistic thing about him. Like everything about Goff is, I'm just going to protect the ball, throw the ball over the middle. I'm going to hit my tight end. I'm going to hit Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know, I'm going to make sure that we get the first downs. I'm going to march down the field, but we're not taking shots.
Yeah.
Drake May is take shots, bro. Just put it on up
Malcolm Floyd. Throw it up to Malcolm Floyd out there, right?
Yeah.
Antonio Gates, Legadou Nani. Some of those guys, right? Back in the day.
Legadou Nani. Yeah.
Yeah. There's some names for you. Yep. Love this, Roy. Jake, y'all doing our first 2025 mock draft next week? Yeah, right after the draft, we're going to recap it, get right back in the lab.
I'm not that guy. You can't. I already spent hundreds of hours watching college tape this year. You can now make him watch college tape again for another year.
Fair.
8 months,
when do you
9
typically
months.
start watching tape on college prospects, Anthony?
I always use the Jets as my barometer as soon as we're eliminated from the playoffs.
I love that. Well, hey, hopefully
it's been as early as October and as late as November, but it's never much later than that.
Oh, all right. Last question from Weston. Where do you think Michael Penix Jr. goes?
Genuinely, I think he's a second-round prospect or third.
I think he goes. I think he's a second rounder, and I have a feeling he's going to be a New England Patriot. Something just telling me like the Patriots are going to take him at 34 or whatever it may be.
Are the Patriots picking at 3 or are they trading back?
It sounds like they want to trade with the Giants. So they would trade back to, what was that, pick 6 the Giants are at? Pick 6 or 7?
Yeah. But Darren Waller is about to retire. Like the Giants seem like the built-in team to take Bowers to.
Yeah. Wow, that would be something. Could you imagine? That would be the earliest a tight end went since Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, it's not
and then Vernon Davis prior to that. Yeah. That's who I was thinking of initially. Vernon Davis.
How early was Vernon Davis taken? Was he 7?
He was like 5 or 6. Yeah, he was right up there. Yeah. He had a crazy 40. He ran like a 4.39 or something like that in the 40.
Yeah, Vernon Davis, freak athlete, but he's another perfect example of why you don't take a tight end like that high. Like he had like
some years,
great career, 1,000 yards like twice.
Yeah, but that was
George Kittle lapped him, and he was a 5th round pick.
I know.
Don't get me on tight ends again. Don't get me started on tight ends in the first again. You don't have time.
I love it. Yeah. Yep. Let's see. He's been getting a lot of time since the Jets bout early. Funny, Mike. Very funny. He's the ultimate wild card. I've seen him mocked mid-first or mid. I've seen the same, Weston. Seen the same.
Yeah.
And final question from Roy. 7 quarterbacks in round 1. Will that be the case?
Listen, I if you believe that there's 7, you could probably get like plus 2,000 on that. You wouldn't have to bet much to make a lot of money on that.
I'm ready to throw $10 on it. Why not?
I think 5 quarterbacks in round 1, that might be around like plus 500 or something like that. I don't know, but like if you think Penix is going to go, and you know that JJ is going to go, and you know that Jaden Daniels and Drake May, and you're only, 1 quarterback off of hitting that.
Yeah.
So
why not? Throw some money on it.
5 in round 1, I think, might be plus 500 or 300 or something. 3-1 odds. That ain't bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw $10 on it. Why not? I kind of like that, Ant. It's a good take. All right, yeah, that's it, guys. Listen, we love you. We appreciate you. If you enjoyed the show, please like, comment. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Comment on this video after the fact. Give us your thoughts on our drafts. Gives us some good reflection for ourselves, and makes us think about who we're going to potentially take. Put your grades down below. We appreciate it. And thank you all for joining us tonight. It was fun. We will see you on Thursday night for our draft extravaganza. It's going to be fun. Anthony, we'll see you there. It's going to be fun. I can't wait, man. We'll see
Get
what happens.
up.
Go Bills. Have a great night, guys. Take care.